When done without awareness, journaling can actually put your mental health at risk. We often hear how journaling helps reduce stress, gain mental clarity, improve your confidence, and your emotional well-being, and all of that is true. But journaling, just like any other wellness practice, also has a flip side. I'm Juma, I'm a journaling facilitator, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 hidden dangers of journaling and 3 simple but powerful strategies for you to make journaling safe so it becomes an ally for your healing and growth and not a source of self-harm. If you have ever felt worse after journaling, know that you're not alone. And there are 2 main reasons why this happens. The first one is because you have entered what I call the healing zone of journaling. Since journaling is incredibly effective at helping you process and release painful emotions, when you write about personal and intimate topics, very likely you are bringing to the surface suppressed feelings, and that process can be very uncomfortable. And so it is completely normal that you're going to feel worse before you feel better, the same way that a wound burns as it heals. And that burning doesn't mean that something is wrong. It's actually the other way around. That burning means that your body is doing what it's supposed to do, to integrate, recalibrate, and release. In the book Opening Up by Writing Down, Dr. James Pennebaker, the creator of the science-backed expressive writing method, found the very same thing. While some people feel calmer and relieved after writing about something difficult, others may feel sad, anxious, or even depressed for a short while. Now, usually that emotional storm passes after a few hours or a few days, and what follows is clarity and growth. So if you find yourself in the healing zone, hang in there. You're not broken, you are healing. So take good care of yourself, go for a walk, surround yourself by people that you love, and remember that that discomfort that you're feeling, it's a sign that something deep within you is being processed and released. The second reason why you may feel worse after journaling is because you have crossed into the danger zone. And in this zone, journaling is being misused. So instead of helping you process and release emotions, it keeps you stuck in them. Or worse, it can even reopen wounds that haven't healed yet. Now, how do you know that you're journaling in the danger zone? These are the 4 signs that you might be journaling in pain. And pain here is an acronym to help you remember and keep this in mind. And as I go through each one of them, see if you recognize yourself in any of these patterns. So P in pain stands for perfectionism. In other words, when journaling becomes a tool for you to reinforce the toxic belief that you're not enough. This is when journaling goes from self-expression to self-judgment, and you begin creating this relationship between aggressor and victim inside of your own head. For example, you start worrying about how your pages look, especially if you're comparing it with what you see on Instagram or TikTok, when journaling becomes an expensive test of your creativity. Another example is that you start worrying if your words sound good or if your reflections are insightful enough, or you begin to obsess whether you're doing it right. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination and analysis paralysis, so you would rather not write at all than face the discomfort of messiness or shy away from your uniqueness, which you'll be able to see on the page. But journaling was never meant to be perfect. Journaling is designed to be therapeutic. And through journaling, you have the opportunity to overcome that perfectionism not only on the page, but also on other areas of life. Now, if you are a journaling beginner, know that this experience is completely normal. After all, very likely, The reference you have of writing comes from school, a time when there was a teacher to test your performance and tell if you're doing it right or wrong. But guess what? Now the teacher is gone, and you are the one who makes the rules. A in P.A.I.N stands for avoidance, when journaling becomes a strategy for avoidance instead of a launchpad for action and transformation. In the book The Journal to the Self, Kay Adams says that there are two things to avoid with your journal. One is never writing in it, the other is always writing in it. In the first case, you participate in life without observing it. In the second, you observe life without participating in it. For example, you might be spending weeks journaling about how unhappy you are at work. Maybe you're venting about your boss, maybe the co-worker, or maybe just about how unfulfilled you are at your job, without actually taking any steps to improve the situation. It may feel productive because you're journaling, but in fact, you are in this loop of reflection without movement, giving you the illusion that you're making progress while in fact you are stuck in that same situation. To shift out of this avoidance, ask yourself this at the end of an entry. What's one small action I can take to move this forward? Remember, journaling is meant to support living, not replacing it. We journal not to get good at journaling, but to get good at life. So if you find yourself writing endlessly about what you want to do without taking action, it may be time for you to close the journal and step more into life. The I in P.A.I.N stands for indulgent rumination, when journaling stops helping you process emotions and instead starts trapping you inside of them. And this happens when you write about the same situation over and over again. Let's say the breakup that you're going through, or there is someone who has hurt you, without actually pausing and start seeing the situation from a new angle. It may feel like an emotional release, and it is until a certain point. Then after that, in reality, you are relieving the pain rather than releasing it. According to Pennebaker's studies on expressive writing, when we vent without finding meaning, often leads to feeling emotionally dysregulated. And because we don't ruminate about positive things, we start training our mind to focus on what's wrong, to focus on the negative, and that can be devastating for your emotional and mental health. So to break the loop, after you have journaled about the same situation over and over again, and you're writing with a reflective prompt such as, what do I need right now? Or what can I learn from this? The N in P.A.I.N stands for not ready yet. And this is one of the most common and dangerous ways that journaling can backfire. This is when you journal about a topic that it is too painful or too fresh, too recent for you to start exploring on the page. So it can become more triggering than soothing. So if the situation feels too charged, or if you find yourself become more upset as you write, then stop. James Pennebaker calls it the flip out rule, and he puts it simply: if you feel you'll flip out by writing, then don't write. Instead, you can choose another topic for you to write about, and you can return to the page when you feel more grounded. Now that we have covered the 4 signs that journaling can turn into pain, how do we ensure that our writing stays healing, growth-oriented, and grounding instead? There are 3 simple strategies that I would like to share with you today. The first one is to start with a grounding ritual. Before you begin writing, take a few deep breaths, stretch, or light a candle, something that tells your nervous system, I am safe to explore. I recently created a guided journaling video that includes a journaling meditation in the beginning. So if you would like to experience that maybe for the first time, I will drop the link in the description below. The second strategy is to add structure to your writing, especially if you're dealing with strong emotions. Structure brings safety. It's going to create a boundary to contain your emotional states. So use guided prompts and different journaling techniques, the ones that you can learn in the Journal to the Self, to guide your writing instead of going straight to free writing, which is often a journaling technique, stream of consciousness, that people often go to, but it's not always the safest. If you want a gentle, guided journaling experience, I have created a 7-day journaling training in which you will receive an email with a journaling exercise each day for 7 days. The third strategy is to balance the deep with the light. So don't journal only about what's wrong. Write also about what's right, so you can alternate between the difficult things and also noticing the moments that bring you gratitude, joy, and presence. If you need extra ideas, I created a video where I share 5 journaling ideas for positive journaling, and again, I will leave the link in the description below. At the end of the day, you are in charge of your journal. You can always pause, shift topics, use different techniques. There is no prize for pushing through pain. Journaling isn't about forcing emotions, it's about gaining more awareness so then you can make better decisions and live a more aligned version of yourself. And when used wisely, journaling is one of the safest, simplest, and most effective tools to support your mental health, helping you find clarity, ease stress, and connect with your true self. As always, I would love to hear from you, so let me know if you have experienced the healing zone of journaling or maybe the danger zone of journaling, because your story may be what someone else needs to read today. Thank you for being here, and I will see you very soon.